A group of teens laughed cruelly, hurling Coca-Cola onto the soaked fur of a German shepherd. The dog trembled, confused, his eyes wide and pleading, as sticky liquid soaked into his coat. They thought it was just a joke, until footsteps approached behind them, heavy and purposeful. Out of the shadows stepped a man in tactical gear, his eyes cold and calculating. A Navy SEAL, the dog's owner, stared at the kids, hands clenched. The street went silent, the playful laughter replaced by fear. The dog, sensing his owner's presence, growled low, standing protectively. What followed was a lesson in respect, loyalty, and courage that none of those teens would ever forget. The sun beat down on the quiet suburban street, but the air was filled with laughter, mean-spirited and cruel. A group of teenage boys leaned against a chain-link fence, eyes fixed on a German shepherd standing beside a little girl in a bright red shirt. The dog's fur was sleek and well-groomed, but that didn't stop the boys from thinking it was fair game. "Watch this," one shouted, uncapping a soda. The brown liquid splashed over the dog's back, soaking his fur. The dog flinched, letting out a confused whine, eyes darting between the laughing teens and the girl who tried to pull him away. Another teen joined in, tossing a second can. The dog shook violently, trying to remove the sticky mess. But his efforts only drew more laughter from the cruel onlookers. The girl's hands trembled as she whispered for the dog to stay calm, but the boys were relentless. They circled, mocking, taunting, and gesturing, thinking this was harmless fun. The dog's ears flattened, growl low and warning, body tense. Every instinct screamed that something was wrong, but he restrained himself, trusting the girl to keep him safe. Unbeknownst to the teens, the dog's owner was not far behind. The street's laughter and chaos were about to meet a presence that would change everything in an instant. And the dog's loyalty was about to be tested in a way no one expected. The laughter echoed through the street. But then a new sound cut through it. A heavy, purposeful rhythm of boots on concrete. The teens barely noticed at first, too busy mocking the trembling dog. But the German shepherd's ears perked instantly, head snapping toward the approaching figure. His low growl rumbled through his chest, a warning unmissable to anyone paying attention. From around the corner emerged a man in tactical gear, movement precise and deliberate. His eyes were cold, scanning the group with the intensity of someone trained for life-or-death situations. A Navy SEAL, the dog's owner, had arrived, assessing the situation in seconds. The dog stepped slightly forward, body coiled, tail stiff, growling steadily. Standing between his owner and the teens, the boys finally noticed the man's presence and froze, exchanging uncertain glances. Their sneers faltered, replaced by hesitation. The dog's teeth gleamed in the sunlight, not in aggression, but in a disciplined warning that carried authority. Each step of the SEAL's approach amplified the tension. The street fell silent except for the dog's growl and the wind rustling nearby trees. The teens realized, perhaps too late, that they had provoked not just a dog, but a trained protector, loyal to a man who had faced danger far beyond their comprehension, marking his presence firmly. The SEAL spoke calmly but sharply, "Step back." Now, the command carried weight, signaling that the situation was no longer a game. The tension on the street escalated instantly. Rex, the retired K9, planted his paws firmly on the pavement, growl vibrating from deep in his chest. His eyes locked on the fake cops, unwavering and precise. The teens stumbled backward, fear replacing their earlier bravado. The dog's stance was disciplined, every muscle coiled, radiating authority. James Carter, the Navy SEAL and the dog's owner, stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "You will step back," now he commanded. Each word carried weight, authority earned through years of training, combat, and life-or-death discipline. The teens froze, unsure if they had the right to laugh, to mock, to threaten. Every instinct screamed that this was no ordinary street dog. Rex barked sharply, snapping once to punctuate the command. The sound echoed down the block, drawing the attention of curious neighbors and passers-by. Their faces twisted with surprise and awe as they realized the seriousness of the situation. The dog did not bark in anger. He barked in protection, loyalty, and precision. The fake officers began to realize their mistake. One took an involuntary step back, glancing at his partner, whose face had gone pale. The realization hit. This dog was trained, disciplined, and utterly fearless. It had taken mere seconds for Rex to turn a playful harassment into a standoff that demanded respect. James whispered to Rex, "Good boy. Stay with me." The dog's ears flicked once, and he held his ground, ready for whatever came next. The teen's laughter had vanished, replaced by wide-eyed shock as they took in the German Shepherd's poised stance and the Navy SEAL standing behind him. Every muscle in Rex's body radiated control and authority, a living testament to years of discipline and training. The boys began to realize they had misjudged the situation entirely. James Carter spoke calmly, his voice carrying across the street. "This dog is not just a pet," he said, tone firm but measured. "He served alongside trained officers. He protects, he obeys, and he ensures safety. Your actions just now were reckless, cruel, and disrespectful." The words landed like a hammer, each syllable punctuating the lesson in accountability. Rex lowered his head slightly, ears still alert, allowing the boys to see the intelligence in his gaze. His growl softened, but the aura of authority remained. The teen stepped back, shame replacing fear now, realizing that this dog was more than a companion. He was a protector, a veteran of service, and a symbol of loyalty. Neighbors who had stopped to watch murmured in awe, some clapping quietly, others shaking their heads in disbelief. James continued, emphasizing the importance of respect for animals and those who serve. The dog sat calmly, side by side with his owner, embodying the lesson far more powerfully than words ever could. By the end, the tension dissolved, replaced with humility and understanding. The street had witnessed more than confrontation. It had witnessed a demonstration of courage, loyalty, and the unspoken bond between man and dog. Days after the confrontation, James Carter and Rex returned to their routine, their bond stronger than ever. The dog walked closely beside him, ears perked, eyes scanning the streets, protective yet calm. James couldn't help but smile as Rex nudged him gently, tail wagging in quiet affirmation. Their connection was unspoken but unbreakable, forged through trust, loyalty, and shared experience. Training resumed, but this time it was a different kind of exercise. James guided Rex through commands, agility drills, and recall exercises, reinforcing the bond that had saved him from potential disaster. The dog responded instantly, every movement precise and confident, a reflection of years of military discipline. Neighbors and passers-by often paused to watch, awe etched on their faces. Children would wave, pointing excitedly, while veterans nodded in silent respect. Recognizing the extraordinary connection between a trained K9 and his owner. One afternoon, James knelt in the small park, scratching Rex behind the ears. "You saved more than me that day," he whispered softly. The dog leaned into his touch, eyes glimmering with loyalty and understanding. As if he knew, their partnership became a symbol for the community. Courage, discipline, and unconditional loyalty captured in one veteran and his K9 companion. Together, they had turned a moment of cruelty into a testament of respect and protection, inspiring everyone who witnessed it. Months later, the city streets were calmer. Yet the story of James Carter and Rex had spread far beyond their neighborhood. James now walked with confidence, Rex faithfully at his side, a protective presence and a loyal companion. The bond forged during that tense confrontation had deepened, becoming a source of comfort and strength for both of them. The Navy SEAL often reflected on the incident, remembering the fear, confusion, and the unwavering courage of his dog. Rex had not just protected him. He had taught a lesson in loyalty, courage, and accountability that the teens and the entire community would never forget. Children waved, neighbors smiled, and veterans nodded as they passed, acknowledging the heroism embodied by a man and his K9 AT night. James would sit quietly on his porch, Rex lying beside him, tail swishing gently. "You saved me that day, buddy," he whispered, running a hand along the dog's neck. Rex leaned into the touch, eyes soft yet alert, a reminder that his duty and loyalty would never waver. Narration: heroes come in all forms. Sometimes they wear uniforms, sometimes fur, and sometimes the bravest acts are the quiet ones, the ones performed out of love, loyalty, and the instinct to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The camera pans out, showing James and Rex silhouetted against the city lights. a symbol of courage, companionship, and unwavering devotion.